It's raining outside right now, in case you were wondering. Up until this point, I've enjoyed Chainsaw Man, but I wouldn't say it's a personal favorite of mine. However, after reading the material for this video, well, there's a lot to unpack with the chapters we have today, so I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into things. I read chapters 40 to 70, which covers the Bomb Girl and the International Assassins arcs. So we're going to start right at the beginning with Denji's newest interest, a girl he just met. While out for a walk on a rainy day like the one I'm experiencing right now, Denji meets a girl named Reze. The two of them immediately hit it off and they begin to spend quite a bit of time together. But as you guys know, this is Chainsaw Man, so the happy times are swiftly put to an end and we get into some pain and misery.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Just as Denji is led to believe he's found the one, he's found his dream girl, all those expectations and beliefs are shattered when it was revealed that Reze is actually like a secret Russian assassin. Oh yeah, and apparently she's also a hybrid devil that can transform into the bomb devil. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, like, don't you just hate it when your girlfriend literally turns into an explosive device? And I must say, the level of absurdity in this series has been like 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 for the most part. Like, there's been some pretty crazy stuff that's happened. But I was not prepared for the final battle of this arc to take place in a tornado where there's the bomb devil exploding and we have the Chainsaw Man riding a demonic shark in the tornado. I mean, it's Sharknado. Like, it is just such a great balance between campy dumbness and just awesomeness all at the same time. All I'm gonna say is, Fujimoto, you are just a true mad lad, and I absolutely love you for that. But I gotta say, so far of, compared to the previous arcs, this Bomb Girl one is my favorite one. It has all of the great emotional beats that we get from the characters, with the best action we've seen so far. Despite the harsh rejection that Denji gets from Reze, he can't bring himself to give up on the relationship that easily. He even goes out of his way to invite her back to the cafe where she worked at to try and patch things up. And we actually see Reze was not planning on going through with it, but then she changes her mind at the last minute and decides to head to where the cafe is, only to get intercepted by Makima on the way and just brutally offed. And this poor boy, this poor Denji, he just can't catch a break. He's left thinking he got stood up when that was not the case. Meanwhile, Makima just continues to cement her position as just the most evilest of people in this story so far. And she's literally a ticking time bomb. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm sure it's not going to end well for us. As a result of the big bombastic fight that we got at the end of the Bomb Girl arc, Denji, aka Chainsaw Man, finds himself in the news. The world has been shown the Chainsaw Man in his full glory. But this is actually bad news, because that means now that people know where the Chainsaw Devil is, everybody that wants the Chainsaw Heart can just send assassins after him. And that's exactly what happens. Now we got a whole bunch of these people hunting after the bounty on the Chainsaw Heart. In particular, we're introduced to quite a few different assassins, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed the character concepts and the designs that they had. Like, first up, we got the three brothers from America. They all go through their own little miniature arcs, and they all end up kind of getting knocked off in some brutal ways that really just show that this world is not a pleasant one to be in. And then there's Kwanji. I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I apologize in advance. She's a very formidable, blade fighter, pretty much a typical assassin-y kind of vibe you would expect from a fantasy story. She has her own posse of fiends who she's quite friendly with. But it turns out that she's actually a hybrid devil as well. I think she's half bow devil or crossbow devil or something. It wasn't really made clear, but there was definitely a lot of archery type vibes from her. And at one point she's referred to as the first devil hunter, which brings up a whole lot of questions. Like, she doesn't look particularly old, so is that implying that devil hunting is a very new profession of some kind in this world? Or is she actually very old and uses her devil powers to keep herself looking young, and there's been devil hunters for decades or even centuries? Like I said, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm definitely going to be very curious to look up for little details that might give us a clue as to what the answer to that is. Okay, but there's a lot more assassins to talk about with. So let's get into Germany's Santa Claus. At first, we're led to believe that this old, creepy, perverted guy is somehow a master of dolls and can make his own little army of dolls, which is that is definitely terrifying in many ways. And yet, somehow, by the end of the arc, that gets flipped up on its head, and he's almost sympathetic in a way. Because as we get to know more and more about the final group of assassins, that being Tolka and his master, we come to find out that Germany's Santa Claus is kind of a victim. You see, Tolka is this conditioned, kind of brooding, silent killer type of guy, you know, kind of pretty typical for that kind of character. Like, there's definitely a kind of a weird vibe going on between Tolka and his master, and then we get some information later on. You see that the master is actually the doll devil in disguise and is conditioning Tolka to take on the role of the new Santa Claus, which is basically a perfect puppet. So Santa Claus is an assassin that is basically a trainee of the doll devil and is just a perfect pawn that will do whatever the master wants to do. You see, that was a fun little twist that definitely I did not see coming and helped to really make this assassin battle royale we have going on quite more interesting. However, despite getting that fun little shake-up, I wasn't prepared for what was going to happen right afterwards. We come to find out that this doll devil had this master plan orchestrated all along to get the chainsaw man and his heart sucked into hell as an offering to a greater evil. This is done when the doll devil makes like a deal with the hell devil, which apparently has the power to, well, like bring people into hell from our world. So while there's this big chaotic battle going on, Denji and a whole bunch of the other people present get taken over to the other side. And can I just say that this depiction of hell from this story is just so interesting? It's not the typical fiery hellscape that you're used to. But the first thing that happens once everybody lands in hell is that we see the fiends just start freaking out. They're like, oh my god, we're being watched by the greatest of evils. We're toast. We should not be here. We gotta get out of here ASAP. And they specifically call out that they're being watched by the devils of the primal fears, which makes a lot of sense. We're told very early on that devils get their powers from the objects that people fear most, like obviously weapons, like chainsaws, guns, that kind of stuff. So yeah, of course it makes sense that there would be devils based off of the primal fears, and they would be amongst the most powerful of all devils. And yet, despite how obvious it is that these things would exist, just having them mentioned and brought up and seeing the reaction from the fiends was really chilling. But then, like, right afterwards, we see the appearance of the Darkness Devil in the most trippy and weird scene I've seen in a manga since I read through Berserk's Golden Age. The Darkness Devil like falls out of the sky and he lands and is being serenaded by a parade of disembodied astronauts, and it's just like, what is happening? My brain could barely process what is going on, and I'm all here for this. A couple of people try to foolishly fight back, like Denji and Quan Assassin Girl. But just when all hope looks lost, who shows up? But Makima. Now I should say, it seems like the Darkness Devil is an easy candidate for being like one of the top 10 most powerful devils in existence. But then Makima just shows up all nonchalant, not really caring. It's like, I'm here to pick up my boys, I'm here to pick up my kids, and then I'm getting out of here. And so she and the Darkness Devil start fighting, and Makima is somehow able to like push back against the Darkness Devil. I don't think she's necessarily more powerful, but she's like on a very similar level from the little interaction that we got here. So somehow Makima is able to force the assassin Tolka to like call back upon the Hell Devil to get him back out of hell, which he does. Now I'm not really sure if she made him do it, or if she's just like, hey, can you do the thing, please? And he's like, okay, yep, sure, let's go. I want to get out of here. I forgot I could do that. But if she is able to force him to do that, it just adds to the growing list of weird powers that Makima has that I'm not really sure what the through line is yet. But over on the other side, once we're back in our world, Denji gets revived by Makima and is like, all right, I'm ready to go. We just had this crazy thing happen, but I'm ready to turn back at the Chainsaw Man and go kick the Doll Devil's butt. So yeah, we went to hell, we came back, not necessarily everybody being in one piece, but yeah, like from there on, we kind of just coast to the end. So after this exchange with us going to hell and us coming back, all because people are trying to get the Chainsaw Heart and Makima being as powerful as one of the primal fears, it raises a lot of questions. Particularly because earlier in the story, the Angel Devil mentions to Aki that all devils are from hell and they come to Earth once they're killed. But none of the devils remember their time in hell. All they remember is the sound of a chainsaw at the moment of their death. Which, okay, obviously the Chainsaw Devil has some significance with the ongoings in hell. Like, I don't know if it's a matter of him being like the official executioner of the head of devil of hell, or if he's somehow like a rebel that goes around killing all the devils in hell. Like, I don't know what the exact deal is, but there is something very important about the Chainsaw Devil in particular. And as a result of that, everybody's trying to reclaim the heart of the devil, not kill Chainsaw, but to like get the heart so that they're the ones that control Chainsaw. This seems to be the exact thing that the Darkness Devil and Makima both want to do. We just need a couple more pieces of this puzzle before we can figure out what's going on. But then there's also the matter of how Chainsaw managed to get himself back into our world from hell, and why he was the way he was. So like, I actually went back to the beginning of the story and I read the first chapter again, and I noticed that when Denji first meets Pochita, the little chainsaw dog, that he's injured with what looks like a gun wound. So now I'm sitting here thinking, okay, did Chainsaw and the Gun Devil fight each other in hell and like kill each other, and that's why they both arrived back on our side of the plane? Or how did Chainsaw arrive in our world with a gun wound? Like, there's obviously something going on between Chainsaw and the Gun Devil, and we've already been building up this confrontation with the Gun Devil this whole time, so now I'm just like, okay, there's something's about to go down. Maybe I'm overthinking things, maybe I'm going a little bit too off the rails, but you know what? This is the kind of content that I love to consume. These last few chapters did so much for the world building of Chainsaw Man. Now I really am excited to jump back in and immerse myself in the world and the lore that's being built up. But obviously, if you guys know me and my preferences, you know this is the kind of stuff I love. Having reached the end of the International Assassins arc, I gotta say, I finally understand the hype that a lot of people have for Chainsaw Man. We're still not done though. There's still quite a few big threats left, like the Gun Devil, and I don't know, maybe we're gonna see the Darkness Devil show back up, and they're still Makima. So I don't know what the hell is gonna happen next, but I'm here for it. And not only has the escalation from one arc to the next just been crazier and crazier and crazier, but so has the amount of detail being put into the lore of the devils and the world building as a whole. Fujimoto is really starting to flex on us now. Like, I'm finally getting a sense of the scope. Like, I'm finally feeling like our characters, Denji and his friends, are small minnows in this giant ocean of sharks. In fact, this is honestly the exact same feeling I had after I saw the Barate arc from One Piece. If you know, you know. So I'm ready to jump into the unknowns of what happens in the next few chapters, because I know we're getting towards the end of the current run of Chainsaw Man, and I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm as ready as I'm going to be. But if you want to join me on this adventure, make sure you do these YouTube things. You hit subscribe, you like the video. If you want more stuff like it, leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite part of this arc is. But until the next time, I've been Louie Khan. Remember, be kind to others, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. I'd like to record a special thank you to all the members of the channel right now. We have McTwisty, Wonder Soul, Laura, and Dario. Thank you so much for the support, everybody.